Okay, that is going to be a long answer. Uh, to me, I actually realized I made a good choice picking Mockat was the day I got access to the website. I mean, the website was like really well structured. The interface was very comfortable to use. There were like performance checks. There were mock tests that were available in the website, and I can actually benchmark myself to certain people where are their preferences and where are my performances. So that actually made me realize, okay, maybe I'm with someone who actually understands how this coaching works and who has an experience in this. Post that, I got access to the classes. I attended the 2 3 classes in the beginning, and I understood ki, okay, this is quite different from all the YouTube videos that I saw earlier, thinking that okay, I can do my preparation from YouTube. But no, there was a clear contrast difference. I was here, like there were certain people along with me, like very smart people. The way they were asking questions, the way they were taking the classes, it changed ki, okay, I'm not playing a small game. And then I also, like, there were like doubt sessions, there were like constant conversations that were happening during the classes, and it is not a monologue. So that kept me more interactive, that increased my attention span to the class, and that was actually something well better than what I get from YouTube videos and some other classes or monologues. Another big thing, which I can say, were the timings which the mock classes were scheduled, because I was a working professional. My usual work hours were like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. But the classes, they used to be later in the night, somewhere around 9 p.m. or during the weekends. So these classes and the timings aligned with my work hours, and I was able to give time to both, which I felt like glad, because I didn't need to quit my job and get into this. And more than that, I mean, to be very honestly, Sanjana ma'am and Vignesh sir do make a very big difference in terms of coaching classes, because the way the classes you take, you bring out the students. I mean, it's not like you teach the class and then close it. You actually like get to know the students, especially, I mean, I'm not sure if that is still happening, but during my time, the class size was usually around 100, 80 to 100 in that size. And ma'am actually had like the understanding of each student in the class. They know what their preparation level is, where are they weak, where are they strong. So I also had that personalized kind of guidance, where I was able to like explore my problems. Ma'am, this is what I'm facing, or ma'am was actually suggesting me, see, this is something you should change, this is something you need to work on, which I didn't know. But yeah, so that personalized experience like take it to the next level. So yeah, I mean, I was very happy I picked Mockat. So I have actually taken so the CAT 2022 that I gave was my second attempt. My first attempt was right after my graduation. I mean, I got like a very bad percentile, around 60 or 59 percentile, and my scores were in single digits there. So not a great experience. But post my Mockat, I definitely had like very big shot up. Like my verbal especially, it was jumped from single digits to above 40, which was like I didn't see that coming. But yeah. I actually wanted to bring up this suggestion which Vignesh sir once told us in the class. So he was actually saying that do not take CAT test like a knowledge test, but it's like a time test. Because in that class, they were like, we are a lot of engineers in that class, and we are trying to solve like the nitty gritty of getting into the depth of that. And he's like, see, you guys are like engineers, you have this math background, and you guys are trying to solve a question. Like if it takes like 6 to 10 minutes, don't go to that question, because if anyone had a chance to solve the current paper in 3 hours, I'm pretty sure they'll crack it and they'll get a lot better score. The entire, the game comes when you need to solve it in 2 hours, which means you need to pick your questions. You need to have the art of letting go of the big questions. You say a question, I mean, you know for a fact you can solve that question, but if you think it's going to take like 5 minutes, mark it and go next. The entire game comes in key, pick your right questions, which you can do. Like if you go for verbal, all it takes is like you solve two sets, pick your right two sets, you'll get like 30 marks easily there. You pick your right two DLR sets, that's 30. You pick 10 questions from quant, that's 30, and 90 will land you in a very good percentile. So you have to think it that way. It's not like I have to solve all the questions, I have to get this entire paper correct. No, you just get like your set of questions correct, and that's all it takes. And that was a very big suggestion, and I actually started thinking in that way. So I no longer went for solving all the questions. So whenever I had to go with DLR, I used to like spend my first 2 minutes, understand the set, understand the questions, is it mine or not. Because there will always be one set in DLR which is like very easy, anyone can solve it in like 10 minutes. It's fine, spend the time, find that set, finish that set, and then you have to do one more set which you're comfortable with. And that's a good decent score in DLR if you can solve two sets. The same even with verbal, you have to pick your sets. Not in our hands, I understand that, but you have to solve two sets. So even if you take like 5 minutes, read like half the passage, and you think like, okay, this seems to be a complicated passage, you can leave it there, you can go next, because 20 minutes for one passage is good enough for you to solve two sets. At least if not in the final, I think this would be a very good way for you to start. Like, let me keep a target, maybe two sets in each, 90 is my target or 60 is my target, and keep going up. So that way you will, when you're closer to the final test, you will reach your 100 or 110 mark target you will have. So in verbal, if I remember correctly, like Sanjana ma'am, so she brought this concept of this point of views, which I've never heard of. Like, I see a passage, I'm like, okay, this is the passage, this is the questions which are connecting. But then there were these abstract passages, there are these passages which are not always straightforward or not technical in it. So there is this author's point of view which you have to understand, because there might be one sentence, but there is a different point of view in which he is bringing that up. And these cat options, all of them look similar. I can mostly eliminate one option, but three are like, I don't know which is right. So that is where this author's point of view comes in actually. And I remember I was like very bad at it. There was one abstract passage which I went like 6 iterations with Sanjana ma'am. She's like, no, not right. Change again, change again. I went like, I couldn't get it, but finally once I got it, she's like, okay, do the next. Then from 6 iterations, I think I got that in 2 iterations, and then more and more. So that helped me improve my verbal scores. Like, now I was able to understand, okay, this is how I should read the passage, even though there is something in the first paragraph and something in the second paragraph. Why are they both connected? What is he trying to differentiate from this para and this para? So the approach changed. The way I look at the passage, the way I try to pick my passage, it got changed because of those sessions I had with ma'am, because of those classes. I mean, not just with those classes, but also the people I actually had around in those classes. Like, I should say they're like very smart people. The way the questions they asked to Sanjana ma'am, why is this? I was like, man, I didn't think of that. That's actually a good point to raise. So that also helped me understand, okay, this is how people around me are thinking. This is what is helping them to crack the particular passage. So that also jumped in on my preparation. So I was able to do that cumulative thing, and yeah, that boosted my verbal score like really good. And like I was saying, for quant and for DLR, the entire game comes in picking the set. Don't waste your time solving the paper. That should not be your goal. Your goal, pick the right questions. 10 in quant, 2 sets in DLR, you'll get 60 good score. It will land you in a good percentile. So yeah, that was my approach. Oh, interview prep. I think that is so. Until I cracked CAT, I was always okay. Once I get like good percentile in CAT, I'm going to get into IIM. But no, the story doesn't end there. It actually starts there, because interview is like, if your CAT is like 20%, interview is like 80% of hard, because the professors who are going to interview, they are from one of the smartest people from very good colleges. They have experience of people like you, and they know everything you talk about. You cannot bullshit to them. So that is something you need to be trained. It's not like I will just go and talk. And Mockat actually helped me there, because Vignesh sir had like over 10 to 15 sessions with me, in a group session, in a single session, stress interviews, various kind of. I think I even had a one of the session with an alum of Mockat. I think he was from, I'm Lucknow, Bangalore, but he also took an interview session, and it felt nice, because now I was confident when I was going to my interviews. Okay, I actually gave few stress interviews. I know how this is going to play out, and I know what to speak, what not to speak. For me, I clearly understand I cannot lie. If I don't know something, I have to clearly say I don't know something, instead of like beating my bush around, because they're gonna catch it out front. Uh, I actually have some few good experiences that I can share with you. I was actually a volleyball player. I was a captain in my college and during my school time. So when Vignesh sir was asking what are your hobbies, I was like, yeah, I play volleyball. I'm like really into it. So he's like, okay, which country won the World Cup in 2020? I'm like, damn, I don't know. He's like, what is the court size? What is the radius of the ball? And I'm like, why are these coming up? I mean, no, I don't know. And then I looked up, I prepared the answer. And guess what? In IIM Calcutta interview, I was asked the same question. They're like, okay, who won the World Cup in 2020? I was like, I know this. So it was like a good hype. I was like, this helped. Okay, so actually, so my point why I was bringing up this is Mockat has the experience. So Vignesh sir, Sanjana ma'am, and a few others who are there, they have seen these interviews. They know what kind of questions are coming up there. I mean, they cannot 100% tell you or give you the question paper, but at least have the right direction in which you should think, in which you should approach the interview. Uh, I also had this IMA interview, if I want to talk. So my IMA interview was the most stressful interview of all the interviews I had. So I had calls from all IIMs, NMIMS, SP Jain, and gladly I converted all except Bangalore. They somehow rejected me. But yeah. IMA. So the interview went from, so it started with my academics, my computer science background, how and what I learned, my favorite subject, and the professor. So I was initially trying to, I thought he was not that deep knowledge or well versed with computer science terminology. I was trying to bring in some big terms and show that I know all this. He just caught it up. He was like, he brought bigger terms than me. He's like, how did this happen? And then I know, okay, not happening. So I was like, I'm not sure of that and all. So my point is, they know that if they're bringing a computer science interview, the professor is taking it. That is because the professor has that knowledge. So, like again, do not bullshit around. They will catch you. So the second part of the interview, there were two interviews actually in that interview. The professor was asking me ki, it was somewhere around energy. So he was like, what is the highest non-renewable source of energy India has, in that lines? And I was like, hydro. He was like, why? I'm like, because we have like a lot of rivers and dams, or like there are a lot of dams which we construct, and hydro could be like a good guess for me. I honestly didn't know, but that was an educated guess I could make. So he's like, okay, rivers. So how many rivers do we have? What are the Sapta Sindhu rivers? I don't know. I said like Yamuna, Saraswati, Ganga, and I'm done. Like, which direction do they flow? Like west to east? Like, no, one flows from east to west. What is that? I have no idea. I have no idea which river flows from west to east in India. So my point is, the topic can start somewhere as energy and somewhere, and it ended with the direction of the flow of river in geography. It can be anywhere, and there is no way anyone can prepare for these interviews because it happens on the whim there. The only thing that you can be is like confident. Do not break in when you don't know something. Do not be like shit, panic. That is something which you should not be doing it, and that is what I was trained for in Mockat. So Vignesh sir had these stress interviews. I was like, sir, I don't know. I think this is not going. He's like, no, don't zone out. Keep in the interview. Don't think this is a mock. Take it as an interview. Bring up. Don't back down. Keep saying what you're saying. That confidence is what they're looking for. Because once you enter into an IM, you are going to enter a very stressful environment. The people around you, because you would be with the best of the people around you, and they would be chasing. They won't stop. If you're stopping, it would be you problem, because they would keep hustling and you have to face that. And if you're like weak, if you're like backing down, that is something for your own good. You cannot survive in that college and you would land up in some bad placements. So the professors would be testing that, like, can this person, like take up what an IMA has to offer, or what an any IM has to offer. And I think that is what a stress interview will happen, and you should be prepared for that. So, and these sessions, what I had, they taught me that, they prepared me, okay, this is how it is going to be. And yeah, I was able to do good. So that's one big thing I had from Mockat, a big takeaway. So in MBA, there are certain things which I really appreciate in IMA. There are certain things which I actually feel I could have done better. I should have done it in a different way. So what I liked mostly was the people around me. Like, these are like the elite. They are like from the different backgrounds. They are lawyers, they're doctors, they're authors, they're artists, and obviously there are people who has like consulting, IB experience, and a lot of different kinds of experiences. The point is, no matter what backgrounds they are from, everyone is a hustler. Everyone has a goal and they're like running towards it. And you being in that environment, you will start doing that because you won't slack off. You will understand yourself, okay, okay, what am I doing? And the problem is, no one stops. There is always something that's happening. There is always some event. There is always some competition, some test, some assignment, some class course. It will be there. The point is, you will have to let go of some things. You will have to give up on some things. You have to ace in some things. I think my entire 2 years, it was these choices. Which one to do today? Which one to pick today? Which event to go today? Which competition to give today? So that was fun in that way. And yeah, I mean, we have like a lot of extracurricular events also. We have these intersection wars. We have this sports war with our seniors. We also have this inter IM competitions and all. That's added like a lot of fun. Like I said, there are like a lot of extracurricular things, a lot of academic things happening. You just need to find the right balance. And unless you experience, you actually sit there and you are in that hot seat to make that decision, I can never say it. But whichever decision you make, I'm pretty sure that's going to be right because it was that good there. What I wish I could have done differently. I had an experience. I'll tell you, I have my work experience of like 1 year. It was not in a corporate experience, it was a startup experience. So I never had this hierarchies or big HRs and then certain groups. No, there was a single department where like a bunch of 15 people working. But in IMA, the classes, how they are organized were like case studies. There will be case the professor gives you. I mean, it's in the textbook. You have to read that case, and the next day the discussion in the class would be around that case. What should be done? What should a manager do? What should the HR do there? How should the company deal with that situation? And being someone who doesn't have an experience, I actually did not connect with it that well. I used to have these all black and white answers, like, if this is wrong, no, I think the HR shouldn't do that. The manager should make this decision. But unless you're actually in the shoes, you have this corporate work experience, you will see it differently, because you'll connect yourself. You'll understand that there are certain other factors that can affect your decision. You can't just rely on what's in front of you. And that connect I was never able to make. Whenever the class discussions happen, the people with workex used to give like very good points, like, no, you're right, but this will be there, how are you going to solve that? So I think that is something I failed. I think I missed, because if I had experience, I would have actually enjoyed my classes even better. I would have been a part of it more. So that is some small regret I had, but it's still good. Okay, it's not like, yeah, it's still good. Uh, Another big stressful thing you'll have at any IM is your placements. I mean, placecom will grill you out. You have to like follow certain guidelines. You have to follow certain rules in order to, in order to ace those placements, and they'll guide you, but it's going to be very stressful. Placements will be the most stressful part of any MBA life, at least in all the IMs. That much I can 100% guarantee. Uh, After that, I mean, let's also talk about my life after MBA. Actually, it it uh, it actually changed the way in which I look at things. When you see a certain advertisements, you will try to understand, okay, whom are they targeting? Who are their target audience? Why are they bringing such a catchphrase? What is the idea behind those particular characterizations, etc.? Not just the advertisements, I mean, even your everyday things. I can actually tell about this experience. So 2 weeks back, we were at this fine dine with my few friends. We were having a dinner, and we ordered some, like, can you get us some soft drinks? And he brought this new beverage. I don't want to say the name and all that, but it felt a bit off. It was not the regular Pepsi or Coca-Cola or any of this Campa Cola and all. It was some new beverage, and he was like, sir, this is the Coke we have. And we were like, no, because for us the packaging felt very off. It has like this lot of stickers on it, and it didn't give that vibe of it's a safe drink. I somehow felt like, bro, I don't even know what's in it, let me just have some my Sprite, or I'll have some lime soda or a cocktail. So I think that is something which I might not have done if not the way, because I was looking at the packaging, whom are they doing it, what is this saying, what, it was different. And then we had a conversation, like, if what they should change in that packaging, whom they should be targeting, like, is it even the right place to sell it? Maybe they should go to some tier 2 tier 3 restaurants and maybe try it there. Or like, we had a huge conversation on the packaging of a beverage when we were, it was fun. I mean, it's not like we are nerds or something, but it was a fun conversation we had. It point I'm trying to make is, it changes the way you look at things. It changes the way you understand various corporate moves that happen around you unknowingly. So that actually is a very good change of mindset which an MBA grad would have, and yeah, that should be a motivation for anyone honestly to do.